It was 2 years ago, Athens. Toastmasters, there is no way I cannot mention Toastmasters in these calls because I'm a fanatic Toastmaster at Toastmasters International for the last almost 15 years. 2 years ago, Athens, European conference, 900 people coming to Athens. It was an amazing conference. I did a workshop, and this workshop I did together with Olivia Schofield. For those who do not know yet, Olivia Schofield, she's an English woman living in Berlin, now German, European, and she's a stage monster. Olivia and I had the challenge of doing a workshop. We wanted to do it differently. We had worked together before in Portugal and Oporto. Hey Job, hey Juan Carlos, Alba, the crowd, yeah man, super that you're all here. So we want to do something special in Athens 2 years ago, Olivia and I. And in Toastmasters, yesterday we talked in the eighth session of this, we talked about rhetorical devices. We talked about content killers. We talked about content killers. And one of them we didn't mention is a landmine of antipathy. A landmine of antipathy, hello Pamplona, a landmine of antipathy is typically sex, religion, politics. When you touch these, you step into the landmine of antipathy. And in Toastmasters, we normally don't talk about sex, politics, religion. Our workshop, Olivia and my workshop 2 years ago in Athens was called Sex and Public Speaking. Because there's so many analogies, a bridge of analogy between sex and public speaking. We started with a scene of Harry and Sally. We had so much fun. But we did 3 rounds of group work. And that was the important stuff because we had more than 350 people in the room and we did groups of 3 and they did come up with content. And one of the 3 sessions, we wanted to know from all these guys in Athens, more than 350 passionate people about, Nadine, almost punctual, passionate people about public speaking. And we want to know what are for you ideas how to increase the sexiness factor as a speaker on stage. The sexiness factor as a speaker on stage. And we collected more than 400 ideas. Banal ideas, normal ideas, cliche ideas, creative ideas, very cool ideas. The whole thing. And then I put them, because I'm German, I have to put everything in Excel. And I put it in Excel, more than 400, and I categorized them and I rated them, and then I came up with the ranking of the sexiest things on stage that you can do as a speaker. The 2 top ones. Number 1, eye contact. Number 2, voice. Welcome to the 9th session already, the 9th session of these public speaking Q&A sessions. And welcome, Andre. New people, grateful I'm a Toastmaster too. Amazing. Here's Connor Neal. Yeah, Connor, by the way, this is today. I just saw your talk. This is partner look today because I need it. It's on purpose. So here we are, everything today on voice. Of all my favorite topics in public speaking, this must be among the top 2. Voice is amazing. And I'm waiting for your question. I am prepared today. I have lots of stuff to cover here in 25 minutes that we have left. But if you have questions on public speaking, this is a Q&A session. Call it. Connor, anyone else you missed before my Way, my favorite song? Because in that Athens workshop 2 years ago, why was it number 2? Why does voice so much increase your sexiness factor as a speaker? Because your voice is a musical instrument. I started to play this clarinet when I was 10 years old. Your voice is just the same. It's a musical. How do we use it? We use it like this. If you made pauses, which you don't. Oh, what was that? That was an exciting outbreak of your monotony. So questions here, questions for voice. Come on, give me questions. I have so many things here prepared to cover. Come on, but I want to hear you all. And sharing the link with all my live stream. We have today 30 in the call. Come on, guys. This is Q&A on voice, the sexiest, biggest factor as a speaker that we discovered 2 years ago. Olivia Schofield, my fellow speaker, and me in a workshop with more than 350 passionate speakers. That was such good logos that we gathered. Any question? Okay, Nova one. What's best method to practice and follow up with progress? You mean your voice, to practice your voice? Or you mean public speaking? Let me take your question, Nova, and put it the other way around. Why do you think, guys, why do you think all you guys here in the call, why do you think speakers on stage use monotonous voice? What's the reason? What's the reason? Give me a reason. We all have our own tone of voice. What do we do to improve our voice? What is a great, sexy voice? Okay. The thing about voice, why is it monotonous? I think I know it. It's your stage fright. Your cerebellum, your cerebellum, oldest one, the reptilian brain, you know, all this, the small one, they freaking out when you get in front of people because they will kill you. So the least thing you want to do is, hey, everyone. So that's the least thing. We have a monotonous voice driven by stage fright every time we walk on stage. But what the audience wants to see is authenticity. Number one factor, authenticity. And when I'm in a bar like with you, I will do the same, authenticity. They always call me Jim Carrey of public speaking, but that is because we train in front of the mirror every day. He does this since since he was a child. I do it since 15 years ago. Forget it. Authenticity. So is that your authentic voice? Your voice, a musical instrument, is that your authentic voice? Come on, this is not authentic. So what can you practice? First tip to increase your vocal variety, which is sexy for the audience, is the use of dialogue. So the first thing I want you to do is, instead of talking about stuff, and then I entered the room and there was a person, and then I talked to the person and the person told me I should. This is narrative, a sequence of events. This is a volume sleeping pill. Instead of doing narrative, sequence of events, relive events. And then I enter the room and there's this guy and his name is Joe. And you know what Joe told me? Hey, Flo, come over. I didn't even know how he knew my name. And then he said, but you know, beer is not everything. If you use dialogue, you automatically use vocal variety because you become an actor without being an actor. And the funny thing, guys, about dialogue is one of the 7 golden rules of storytelling of Mr. Aristotle himself. Mr. Aristotle himself, one of 7 golden rules to tell story, use dialogue. Think about Tarantino movies, think about Netflix series. You watch a lot of Netflix series right now. Think about Amazon Prime, think about movies, think about books. It's all dialogue. But when we are on stage as public speaker, we talk about stuff, which is boring. So reliving stuff with dialogue, Joe, man, this is sexy. Okay, what else? Yes, Mitra, you are right. I would say the passion about thing when it sounds monotone is because you might not enjoy public speaking. The thing is, we enter the public speaking world. I entered the public speaking world 15 years ago. My first meeting, 5th of October 2005 in Barcelona, prestigious speakers, a Toastmasters club. And what do? We walk on stage with a mask. And that mask is a mask that stops everything. Our body language, hello, Mrs. Merkel. Merkel, you can do that. I want to see you move your hands and have a coffee on stage. And we certainly the biggest challenge for you guys when you get more and more into public speaking is because we put this mask and it stops us. It stops us. So when you take off that mask, you speak like with real people. Hey, Joe, for instance, dialogue, then it becomes natural. Yeah, Juan Carlos, in Toastmaster, we talk about volume, rate, tone, pauses, but nothing about diction. How important do you think diction is, Florian? Well, I'm from Upper Franconia in Bavaria in southern Germany, and we speak a very big twang slang. It's like Andalusian in Spain. It would be like Tennessee, Tennessee in the US. Do they talk like that? It's horrible. So for me, for instance, we don't have diction for the hard vowel. Is it vowel? No, consonants like K, P, and T. It's all K, P, D. It's horrible. Okay, there's an exercise I learned from Olivia Schofield. This is a wine bottle, which of course I always need in all these talks. These days, you have to enjoy Spanish wine. Now, Olivia Schofield, the same one from the beginning of the talk, which I had the workshop in Athens with, where I discovered that your voice is the second sexiest thing you can have on stage. It's an exercise she learned in BBC before they go on air. You can do it, Juan, at home. You take a cork, you cut it into halves, you put half of the cork in your mouth, but please do it when nobody's around, because after 10 seconds, your saliva so cools on your shirt. This is not good when people are around. And when you take it out, you speak like this. Amazing. Nadine, what about adding sounds of element, object you were talking about? What about adding sounds of elements? Of course. You know the rhetorical device personification? Well, an object, the clarinet became my soul, and it started to play. Personification. I put a lot of sounds in objects, and then the wine bottle said, boing. This is like onomatopoeia, rhetorical device, snap, crackle, pop. I do that all the time. Anything, my friends, anything, especially with your voice, anything that breaks the stupid monotony is always a goodie. Plop. Yeah. And don't you like this sound of the wine bottle? The most beautiful sound in the world, but only happens once at the beginning when you open the bottle. Oh, Gregory van Hove, you were there in Barcelona 2005? Amazing town, isn't it? Hello, Aristotle, Connor. Any more questions? How can you improve your speaking voice quality? Now, the first thing, once you take off your stupid mask, which stops you from literally anything in public speaking, and you become free, then you can start with dialogue. Dialogue is the easiest, said my mom to me. She had this wine in her glass on a terrace up here in the Costa Brava. And she looked at me with her melancholic gaze and she said, Florian, wann kommst du zurück? When you come back. You see, dialogue is always vocal variety, automatically. Okay, here we go. Connor Neal. Yeah, you need some wine too. You had a great session today, Connor. Do you do anything to warm up your voice or take special care of your voice? Thousands, millions of opinions of especially professional speakers. Singers will always warm up your voice. La 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 la. You know what? I don't. But I learned my lessons, what not to do. So what I don't do anymore when I have a keynote speech, an important presentation, no sugary stuff, no orange juice, no coffee. For me, horrible. No coffee sucks. Man, I need my coffee in the morning. I have one in the morning, but then throughout the day, no coffee. And definitely have, third tip, a lot of water, natural water, not sparkling water, a lot of water to keep your mouth fluid. If you take sweet coffee out, you have much better here. The problem is much less with your dry mouth and the voice is better. I learned lots of water, that's for sure. Nova, do you recommend using voice recorder or video to improve speak? Oh, Here we have Connor Neal. Have you come back with your wine already, Connor? Connor Neal, check out his blog, check out his YouTube channel. He's an amazing leadership tuber. I call you now Connor, always leadership tuber. He always says, switch on the camera, practice your speaking. I always say, Aristotle didn't have a fucking camera either. Don't say F words on stage. I just do it here in the YouTube live. Come on, guys. What I need as a speaker is not my own assessment. Perception and audience is like the bell curve. Do you know the bell curve? The bell curve? Friedrich Gauss, German mathematician. The normal distribution in statistics. Now, Nova, 2.28% always think you're an idiot. And 2.28% always think you're a genius. This is what perception is all about. Think about the coronavirus right now. There's nothing. This is death. This is normal distribution. And I need the curve. So I grew all my life, since 15 years, since I joined Toastmasters, 10 and a half years, more than a decade in my trainings. I participate, I get feedback. My feedback is my camera. But you can practice in the bathroom in the morning. I do that every day in front of the mirror. Hey, Flo. Flo. But what if you do that, dude? It's like acting, but it's not really acting because it's always me. Leader tuber, exactly. Oh, leader tuber is better than leadership tuber. I call you now leader tuber. Leader tuber sounds like lederhosen in Bavarian. Nova, thanks for the advice. Any more questions? Did we have more? Mustafa from Iraq. Mustafa, hi there. Were you not in Connor's talk right now? Some advice on time management in such situations. Today, Mustafa, everything is on voice. Everything is your musical instrument voice. That was wrong. This is how people would do it. Today, everything is about your musical instrument. Timing is another call. I get back and we will talk about timing for sure. Kwan, which speakers do you enjoy, admire the most from voice point of view? How can you not like Barack Obama? Oh, man. And as I walk down the stairs on the sunny day in Georgia and Atlanta, it's singing. Martin Luther King Jr., of course I love. But Florian, he's a preacher. Then preach, man. Shouldn't yell here, I know. Mirta, did you take acting lessons? No. Olivia Schofield, great fan. Today, Olivia, you have a lot of presence in this call. I started the whole thing with our Athens workshop 2 years ago. She always says an actor is an expert at being someone else, and a speaker is an expert at being yourself. We have many things in common. Many things in common. Entering the reliving room and relive stuff. I relive stuff. I never talk about stuff. Todos tenemos que sufrir por tu puto sueño. There's some Spanish you don't have to translate. This is what happened in my life. And I relive it. You can call it acting. I call it relive it. Yeah, Barack Obama, MLK, he's singing. And do you know that MLK Jr., 5 years old, last April, we went, Alvaro and Rose, Special Rose, working up there in the other room. We went to Auburn Street, Atlanta, and 5 years old, the guy was sitting in the back of the church. He couldn't say a thing. Martin Luther King Jr. And then they tell me, yeah, but you don't have it. Oh, do you know who's my favorite? Jim Rohn. I love the intonation and diction. Oh, yeah. Well, whatever you love, my friends, in any person, any speaker, don't look for the existing voice. Always look for vocal variety. Your voice has 4 dimensions. 4 dimensions, guys. You have the volume, soft, loud. You have the pace, slow like a snail, fast like a rabbit. And do you remember Finding Nemo? Finding Nemo, the movie? Nemo? Pixar? The pitch, when Dory speaks with the whale. Low pitch, high pitch. And when everything goes 0, No word was ever as effective as a rightly timed pause. Mark Twain. And on purpose, I cut the first part of the sentence. This is your voice. So when you look for beauty, for sex in a voice, in a speaker, don't look for an existing voice, the intonation, look for vocal variety. This is it. For me, vocal variety is a sex factor, not a great voice. A great voice, of course, is cool. And you can have vocal coaches, which I would say, do it like in real life. Then I come home and she says, where the fuck have you been? You see, this happens. Do I need a vocal coach to do that? Christian Messer. Yeah, an option to slow down when talking fast is to sit on the edge of the table. No way to sit on the edge of any table. When you stand, you have more power. You have more power. Never ever lean on the edge of a table. I know professors do it all the time. They're professors here. I know that, Connor. You don't do that, but there are people who do that all the time. Don't do that. You have more power when you stand. Nothing to do with the voice, though. I speak many times very fast. And then I do pauses of reflection. What would you do if you get a phonic right before an important keynote speech or workshop? A problem without solution is no problem. Happened to me training in Stuttgart, southern Germany. I know, Nadine, you went to Stuttgart. You're from the area, right? I wake up. I didn't go out. I didn't drink. I slept in a hotel, Motel 1. I wake up in the morning and I cannot speak. No voice at all. No voice. I drank, I think, 3 liters of water, and I still had no voice when I arrived at the place. But a problem without solutions already solved. You have to give your best. If you have an aphonic voice, you just do it anyway. Man, what can you do? Cool. Connor, yeah, help yourselves in the chat. Connor, licorice. Yeah, very good. If you're deliberate and intentional, then it is good to sit. If it is an unintentional seeking for comfort, it is a bad thing. Connor? Connor, you made my day. That's exactly it. Anything that's dramatically built in a speech, that is okay. Unintentional is nervousness, anxiety, your ethos, your authority that you have as a speaker always when you stand up goes down. Another session we will do on ethos. Yeah, you're a genius. I know. We're already with 24 minutes. We have important stuff to cover here with voice. And since your questions, can you do more questions? Guys, okay, here we go. A question that sometimes pops up is, because whispering is very cool. Whispering is very cool. But when you whisper, they might not hear you. So what I do is I push here and I whisper, and it sounds like whispering, but it is still loud. That's a technique you can use for whispering, because whispering is a very cool element. What is your favorite moment whilst wearing that shirt? Okay, here we go. Why do I wear this shirt today? The other day in my talk on Pathos, I didn't get to it because I want to talk about my passion for football. You can build passion bridges. We talked about it. And of course, this passion. But this is one of the exercises to improve my vocal variety. I show people by doing, not by telling them. Don't tell people stuff. Make them do it. Take it out. Don't put it in. We're in the 21st century, guys. If you want to put in, send a Wikipedia link. Now, here we are, Berlin training, 6 years back. The guy, it's an exercise where you do real life situations. And I chose him. His name is Ramon. And Ramon gets up, and his thing was, he was from Barcelona, and he's a culé, a Barca fan. Imagine a Barca fan. Darren, you're answering questions faster than I type. Cool. Do you mean now Connor or me? So anyway, we're in Berlin 6 years ago, and then the guy stands up, and he has to imagine that Barca is in the Champions League final. Champions League final, And there he is. Imagine you're there, you're Barca fan, Champions League against Bayern Munich. And it's 1-1, empate, 1-1, 90th minute, and then Messi scores. And then, so he's in the stadium, and then his reaction. And he started like, goal. Goal. 70,000 people in the stadium, drunk probably because he went to a bar before, and you say goal? No. And after eight long minutes, in the end, he said, goal! That's your voice, my friend. My father, 12 years ago, at a funeral, war ein guter Mann. He was a good man. Guys, when you fight with your partner, does it sound like, yeah, but you shouldn't come back late so often? No, man. Relive stuff. Do it like in real life. Take off that stupid mask which takes away everything. Your voice, that's the biggest challenge, I always say, because this is where you really don't want to speak up, but you have to. You don't even want to, you have to. You have to raise the level of vocal variety, because this is just sexiest thing you have on stage. I can always hear in VCN say, yeah, sorry. Yeah, but I don't know how that is with the microphone here, with the yelling. Well, we'll see later. So this is it. Do your authentic voice like in real life. How to do a deep voice to do podcast. Lancelot, subjective opinion. Never fake your voice. Some of you here in this group know Tony Anagor, our friend from Barcelona. Father of triplets, married to a Catalan woman. He's from northern London. Originally, his parents are from Nigeria. He speaks like this. He has this voice. He has this amazing voice, a radio voice, a podcast voice. He can do podcasts. I'm not Tony, man. Lancelot, you're not Tony. Do you want to fake it for a podcast? Maybe you can do post, but I wouldn't, because who you are is what they get. Authenticity is number one. I mean, if you have this pitch in your life and you have no authority at all because high pitch is lower authority, then deeper pitch. Maybe you want to go to a vocal coach, because we cannot talk like this. All the time. Sometimes we have to speak like. Obviously, your mouth, your voice is a musical instrument, but guys, don't fake it. Train it, but don't fake it. Whisper ahead dialogue. The first step for all of you who want to improve it, just stop talking about things. Relive them with real people, with dialogues. Says Joe, hey man, what's up these days when you're locked in Spain? And the funny thing is, at the coffee machines, my friend, at the coffee machines in the companies, now it's all home office, but in the companies, in the coffee machines, they have no problem, man. Says the miller to me, nah, 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 nah. And then they walk on stage and they say in front of 25 people, it's not always easy with the colleagues. Are you nuts? Do the dialogue, man. But don't exaggerate so much, like at a coffee machine. Do it the real way. The miller did a little diddle. The closest thing I learned to connect with an audience in terms of voice is what I call bar talk. Being in a bar, having wine. Connor, do you have a red wine now? So cheers to all of you. 21 right now in the call. Dialogue, exactly. Exactly, Alba, but I write it the American way. So cheers, bar talk. Bar talk is like talking to friends in a bar. That's bar talk, man. Talk to people like normally. The voice. What is the most important word? Connor, you have a wine. Good. What is the most important word? And it's not a word. Gary, how's Rose handling having you at home so much instead of at Soho? Yeah, tough. Our vocal variety is high. The level of vocal variety right now at our place is high, I can tell you. Gary, I can imagine. Now, what is the most important word? Come on, guys. We are ready here. I cannot finish without the most important word. The most important word you have is the pause. Pause for, and this is how I finish the silent exactly. Just wait, Connor. It's almost finished. The 4 big benefits of your pause. Man, I should know them by heart. I know them by heart, but here I've written it down just in case. I'm a mind mapper. Well, they give your statements more weight. They add drama, and I opened the door and I saw nothing. They definitely add to your clarity because we need to process your information. This is why when I speak fast, I speak often very fast. I put them on purpose, thinking, reflection, pauses. And then, of course, your ethos, your authority gets up, goes up with a pause. Ladies and gentlemen, friends here in this call, it's been a great pleasure being here. And always remember in the future, like we discovered 2 years ago in Athens, together with my friend and pro speaker, Olivia Schofield, English woman from Berlin. Always remember, your voice is sexy because it's a musical instrument. Use it as such. Tomorrow, we talk about ethos. Today, voice, that brings us right to ethos. Your credibility on stage. How can you increase your ethos when you're a public speaker? Hasta mañana. See you tomorrow. Thank you all for joining. Hasta mañana. Hasta la vista.